Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We continue with Abdul Qadir al-Jilani with a very, very interesting story. He says, وَلَحِقَنِي مَرَّةً الْجُنُونَ. Abdul Qadir al-Jilani was known for his spiritual states, but he also suffered great amounts of hunger. In this case, he tells us about a case of temporary insanity. وَحُمِلْتُ إِلَى الْمَرِسْتَانِ, and I was taken to the mental hospital. Okay. فَطَرَقَتْنِي الْأَحْوَالِ, I would get these states, حتى حسبوا أني مت, and there would be times where they thought I would die. وجاءوا بالكفن, and they even bought the kafan. وجعلوني على المغتسل, and put me even on the bed for the ghusl of al-mayyit, the washing of the dead. And if anyone's watching here that is not familiar with this, when a Muslim dies, he must be washed from head to toe. And of course, his private parts must be covered. And then he's fully washed from head to toe. And then he's perfumed and then wrapped in a white cloth, put into the casket, or without the casket and put into the ground. Of course, some laws have it that you have to put the casket in, and that happens where the grounds are wet and the earth could move and the bodies, so that the bodies don't get scattered around. If that was to happen, some states mandate that you be nailed into a coffin. In any event, that's the sunnah of Muslims when they die, and that's how we bury somebody. So his state was so bad that they thought he died. And they put him on the bed to be washed. Then I woke up, وقمت, and I got up. And it came to my mind that Baghdad has become too intense. There's too much fitna. I have to leave Baghdad. فخرجت إلى باب الحلبة فقال لي قائل إلى أين تمشي. So I said, I'm leaving Baghdad. The fitna is so much, the prices are so high, the hunger, all of these bad things happen to me in Baghdad. I'm leaving Baghdad. And this is now, he's a scholar. He's a young scholar. He's not known, but he's a young scholar. So I left. At the door of the city, I heard, where are you going? I looked like didn't see anybody. Suddenly, I felt a thump on my chest. Someone pushed me way back and I fell down. And I saw a big man stand in front of me and he said, go back. The people will benefit from your deen. Go back. There's a lot of benefit for you here. Jilani says, I'm leaving because I need to protect my deen. I'm leaving here as a place of fitna. I need to protect my deen. Uridu salamata dini. Qala laka dhak. He said, that will be guaranteed for you. Okay. And I got up to look for the man who knocked me down and said all these words and couldn't find him again. As Abdul Qadir al-Jilani wanted to leave, but what is the lesson here? The lesson here is that every da'iyah, everyone who calls to Allah, every student of knowledge, every sheikh, every imam must worry about his own deen first. That's what's more important. You have to protect your own deen first. And that's what he did here. Only when he fulfilled that was he blessed in his da'wah. But to leave off your own deen and try to help others is to treat the deen as if it's a matter of dunya. Dunya is something that I could go without it and you take it. Food, forget, I'll go hungry, you take it. We can't do that for the deen. Imam al-Haddad says there's no zuhud in ibadah and deen. You don't do zuhud of akhirah, meaning say, okay, you know what? I'll skip my prayers for the sake of you praying. Right? It doesn't work like that. Right? There's no such thing as I'll suffer in my deen like some of these companies. They run an entirely unlawful business, but then they give the contract to you that's lawful. It's like, what is this? You're taking the hit for all of us, right? It doesn't work like that in the deen. So the lesson here and the key here was that al-Jilani cares first about his own religion and protecting his deen from fitan. If he had lusted to be the famous da'i of Baghdad, it would have turned out terrible. But he wanted to leave Baghdad. And once it left his heart, this is what a Shafi'i said, once something leaves your heart, then you could have it in your hand and it'll never harm you. Later on, we're going to read a story from al-Jilani. He had so many kids. He had I think he had over 30 kids. And he said, every time someone would bring me a child, I would close my eyes and I would imagine that Allah says, bring him back to me. I'm taking him back. If my heart is accepting the divine decree, then I know that there will be no harm between me and him. But if my heart is not accepting that Allah would take him back, then the attachment is incorrect. The attachment is in the wrong place. We're going to have attachments, but the attachment has to be in the right place. If Allah wills to take it back, you have to accept that. And that's the sign that your attachment is in the right place. This is the whole story of Prophet Ismail and Ishaq. Strongest opinion is that the dhabih, the one slaughtered, was Ismail, and that the wisdom was to teach everybody that you're going to love your son, but he has to be in a certain place in your heart. He cannot be in the place where only Allah belongs. And there are many strong opinions as well that the dhabih is Ishaq, which is what the stories of Bani Israel say, and even some Sahaba and great Imams have said that. And what is likely? That it was both. That both of them had the similar story happen to them. Both of them, Prophet Ibrahim was commanded to slaughter them. Right? So it was Ismail and it was Ishaq. That's also a makhraj of how to reconcile between those two qawls. Anyway, that's neither here or there. That's a whole nother subject. But he did try to leave Baghdad. And every person who wants to help people, there are pitfalls that say, well, if I don't do it, what do you think? The Ummah is not going to survive if you're not around? Then how did the Ummah survive already 1400 and some years without you? How did humanity survive thousands upon thousands of years without us? And will continue to survive without us. It's an important mentality to realize we're not so needed as we think. And what we're doing here is for our own deen. If it's not improving our deen, it's better for us to take a step back. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.
الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما